she kind of caught me off guard. I was frustrated. I was embarrassed. I definitely didn't want to do it. Now, the woman I encountered today will probably never know how much her small act really made a difference in my life. Have you ever had one of those moments where a total stranger shows you unexpected kindness? Well, that happened to me today, and I'll probably be thinking about it for a long time. Let me explain. Today's a Saturday, and on Saturdays, our family's pretty busy. While my wife and daughter stayed home, I was busy with the boys, taking them out to their play practice, and during that time, I usually go to the gym and get a little exercise in. We were in a bit of a rush this morning, so we grabbed our coats, my gym bag, everything very quickly, and just got out of the house. Dropped them off, went, got my workout done. It was great. I felt good. Went to pick them up. I heard that they had a great practice, and I figured, why not? Let's treat them for lunch. Let's go to Costco, which was like 5 minutes away, and just grab a slice of pizza or something. I asked them what kind of pizza they wanted. They told me cheese and pepperoni, of course. And I told them, you know what? I'm not shopping today. I'm going out for something really quick. You guys can stay and read your books in the car. It's decently warm out as spring is now hit here, so there was no worries there. And they're also old enough. So here's where things got interesting in my day. I was quickly at the till where I placed the orders. They have the little self-serve machines. I put in two slices of cheese pizza and 2 slices of pepperoni pizza. Came up to just around $10. I had my phone with me because honestly, I just had my workout clothes on and my phone, and I go to pay using tap. It made that dreaded noise because it didn't work. Okay, let's try this again. Again, it didn't work. But the funny thing was, as I'm stressing out about, oh my gosh, why is my tap not working? I noticed that I was actually hearing that beeping noise quite a few times. And as I looked to my left and to my right, other people that were trying to use their phone as well, it wasn't working for them either. So what the other people started doing is when their phones weren't working, they pulled out their debit cards and they started tapping. I honestly forgot my wallet at home. When I rushed out the morning, I didn't even think to grab my wallet, which was in my winter coat, which I didn't need today. So I ended up trying again and again, and my phone wouldn't work. So here I am at Costco trying to buy something that's only $10, and it's just not working for me. I had a couple choices. I could go back to the car empty-handed and explain to my boys, sorry, I couldn't get your pizza. Let's go try to get something else somewhere else. Or I could humble myself and ask for help from a stranger, no less. I don't know why. It would have been so simple just to leave there and maybe go to a McDonald's or a Subway or something nearby, or even just go home and make something for lunch. But I don't know why I decided, you know what, I'm just going to humble myself. I told the boys that they were getting a slice of pizza. I don't want to disappoint them. And I asked the stranger next to me. I turned to the woman and I said, excuse me, I have a huge favor to ask. Would you mind if you pay for my meal? I will e-transfer back the money right away. I even had my phone open to the bank app to show her that, hey, look, I'm ready. All I need to do is put in your email and I can send you the money. I was honestly pleasantly surprised. She looked at me and she said, don't worry about it. I've been there before. I understand. I got it. So she looked at the till. She's like, $10. And she used her debit card and she tapped and she paid for it. I said, thank you so much. What is your email? Let me e-transfer you back. And this is where she kind of caught me off guard. She turned to me and she's like, don't worry about it. Like I said, I've been there before. I understand. Have a great weekend. Of course, me being me, it was hard to accept this. So I said, no, please let me pay you back. It's not that bad. Please, I want to pay you back. And she said, no, this is my treat. Have a wonderful weekend. And honestly, that made my day. It did something in me that, I don't know, I guess it kind of restored. It's not that not that I lost faith in humanity, but it really made me think that, there really is a lot more good people out there than others might think. There was a lot of emotions going on in this moment. I was frustrated that my phone wasn't working for tap. I was frustrated that I left my wallet at home and couldn't pay for the food. I was embarrassed that I had to ask a complete stranger to help me out. And I was surprised and thankful for the compassion that she showed me. When I think back on her generosity and this experience, it was humbling, but at the same time, it was very heartwarming. She didn't make me feel shame. Instead, I felt the compassion that was coming from her. She refused to be paid. I did ask her, a couple of times, let me give you payback. She just didn't want it. In a way, she made me feel seen and supported. And you don't really expect that from strangers. Not nowadays. It's something that is pretty rare. And like I said, it was just an awesome thing to happen that threw me off guard. If I wanted to think about this a bit more biblically, I would have to say that her generosity, it felt like it was overflowing from a place of what it's known like to struggle. I did find a Bible verse that I wanted to read to you because I think it relates to this situation. And this one comes from Hebrews 13:2. So it reads, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it." Now, we never know how our kindness might impact someone or even reflect God's love, but this lady did so in a way that no one expected. Her blessing, I hope, will come back around to her in a beautiful way, and her small act became a bigger testimony. I mean, I'm here sharing it with you in hopes that it inspires you and maybe gives you a bit more hope in humanity, and especially with everything that's going on in the landscape right now with politics and everything. This whole thing happened and no one was concerned about political affiliations or racial politics or anything like that. It was just a woman who saw a man in need and decided to help out. Moments like this make you pause and think a little deeper. If you think about it, this wasn't really just about a meal getting paid for. It touched on so many themes that we often hear about in church, but we don't really see played out in real life. A couple that come to mind are paying it forward. Let's talk about paying it forward. The next time I'm in a situation where I see someone that is in need and I have the ability to help them out, I want to do so without hesitation. I want to pay it forward because of the generosity that I've received in the past. And I don't want to do it necessarily because this woman helped me. I want to do it because I feel that I want to help someone that had the same pain or embarrassment as I did. And I don't want them to have to feel bad. If we look at God's timing, it's funny because he put the right person next to me at the right time. God's plan is everything, because what would have happened if I asked the person to the right of me instead? Would that person have reacted the same? Would I have felt more shame? Would they have made me feel shame? Would they have helped out? I don't know. But what I do know is that I felt compelled to ask the lady to my left. And that was the lady that was the one who helped in the situation. And I feel like that was ordained. Let's talk about humility and asking. Asking a stranger for money, that's not something that everyone wants to do. I definitely didn't want to do it. But I also didn't want to go back to the car empty-handed with my kids. It was just weighing out the two options. It was definitely a hard thing to do, but it allowed someone else to offer a blessing. Now, I don't know what was in her heart. Maybe she was looking to help someone, or maybe she always thought, if someone else is in the situation that I was in, I'm going to help them. Maybe she was paying it forward. Whatever the case is, that woman was living out faith in action. She wasn't preaching, she wasn't quoting scripture, but she was being Christ-like. And the final thing I can think about this situation is that it really gave a good teachable moment. Now, as I told you before, this was supposed to be a quick run into Costco to grab the pizza. My kids were reading their books in the car. I wanted to make it real fast. But instead, when I went back to the car, the first thing I did is I said, guys, something amazing just happened to me. And I told them about the situation. And the smiles on their faces were just beaming. My hope is that they really paid attention to what I was telling them and that they take it in. So if they're ever in a situation where they see someone who needs help, they don't hesitate. I hope that's a big takeaway for them. Now, the woman I encountered today will probably never know how much her small act really made a difference in my life. But I hope that this story reminds you that all of us have the chance to be a light to someone else, even in a Costco food court. Let's go forward and look for opportunities this week to be that light in someone else's life. This is Kingdom Chronicles. Catch you in the next one.